Welcome to Film Feast, the show where two sister grill masters watch a movie, yap about it, and make two recipes inspired by it. In today's episode, we're talking about the 1987 horror comedy movie, The Lost Boys.
Comedy?
Yeah, it's known as a horror comedy.
It should be known as It Sucks.
Okay, we know how Kate feels about it. This is clearly a movie that we didn't grow up watching. This is the first time for us.
If you haven't seen The Lost Boys, it's about these brothers. They move to a new area. They befriend a bunch of vampires. And then the vampires are like teaching them things and
then they have the girl and like the guy have like long looks at each other. Then for some reason that makes it that they're in love. I don't get it.
You know what? I couldn't tell who was in love in this movie. Let me just throw that out there. I couldn't tell who I found this movie to be very, very confusing.
Mm-hmm. What do you give it out of 10?
Like
Let's
a 2.
Oh my goodness.
Like a 2.
I think it's a pass, buddy. It's a 5 out of 10 for me.
What made it a 5?
Because I personally like the 80s nostalgia. This was back when like CGI wasn't a thing. So like watching it in present eyes, the cheese factor and all the gore was like top speed and I loved it.
Okay, I feel like it started with cheese factor with that greased up beefcake playing the saxophone. Mm-hmm. That guy in between takes was doing push-ups and lifting weights to keep looking like a beefcake. That's why after the gym, people have like a really good pump, but it fades over time.
Oh, interesting.
So he kept pumping up.
Well, he was pumping for a long time because that guy was jacked.
And he was oiled up real good. Okay, honey, I am so excited to hear what you made for this movie because I gotta tell you, this one stumped me.
Me too.
I feel like I know what part you chose
You're
from.
never gonna get it, buddy.
Really,
There's no part to get this from.
All right.
I took a lot of creative liberties here.
Okay.
Okay, so this movie is set in a fictional place in North California.
Yes.
There was a backdrop of a carnival / like fair on a boardwalk.
Yeah.
When I see carnival and I see boardwalk, I think corn dog, the creepiest of the carnival foods.
Yes, and arguably the most delicious.
Exactly. However, though, I'm not a huge fan of deep frying at home.
I know you're not.
I'm not.
Baby doesn't deep fry.
Yeah.
She's afraid.
Well, I have deep fried before, but going back to high school, my food and nutrition teacher scared me off of it for life.
Why?
Miss Jardine, rest in peace. Miss Jardine, we love you. She told us that there was like a huge fire caused by deep frying. So I'm not a huge fan of it.
And not to mention, Maddie's house, actually, little side note here, the house beside hers, when she lived in a townhouse, caught on fire because of deep frying. So I don't blame you.
Thank you. I have every right to be terrified of it.
Yeah.
Have I deep fried on a charcoal grill? Yes, I am. For some reason, that doesn't spook me.
What?
But indoor deep frying spooks the heck out of me. Okay?
I feel like I can't begin deep frying because it's so delicious that I can't be held responsible.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And I'll just start to deep fry everything.
So I did not deep fry these. I made mini corn dogs, which is like carnival fair food.
Look at all these.
Yep, they're so tiny. They're baked. Because I have like a massive mini muffin pan that's the size of my entire oven.
Yeah, why do you have that?
I don't know. I went mini muffin crazy for a period of my life.
Give me that. I want it.
Do you want that, buddy? You can use it.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you want to like batch cook a bunch of things, like egg bites, great in there.
Yes, okay.
Non-stick.
2-bite brownies.
Yeah, okay, Key always loves herself a 2-bite brownie. But so I was like, I want the flavors of a corn dog, but I'm going to make them mini.
Ooh, and baked.
Yes, mini,
Healthier.
baked, delectable,
Okay.
still on a stick. However, when I have had corn dogs before, and I don't know if you feel the same way, they're lacking a grilled component to them.
Okay.
So instead of just going raw in with the dog into the corn dog, the corn dog batter, I grilled them first. So I grilled them first for a smoky flavor, cut and made them mini. Because mini is just cuter. It's more fun.
Yes.
It's Halloween season. When it's Halloween, we love making mini handheld foods, and I think this is great for Halloween night.
Yeah.
Snap on during your giving out trick-or-treaters candy.
Yes.
So I made the mini, but I was like, in order for it to be a true corn dog, it still needs the stick. Okay?
100%.
Served this with what I'm calling vampire repellent dill garlic dip.
Ooh.
Okay, because I really had to take some creative liberties with this movie. Needed to add, there was a lot of garlic talk, obviously, because garlic repels vampires and it's a vampire flick.
Yeah, I thought that to be very funny.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, what can I add in here that's like garlicky? You know, I love my garlic. So I'm like, I'll make a creamy dip. These need a creamy dip. Obviously, a ketchup's gonna go delectable with this.
Yeah.
But it also needs a creamy dip, and I love a garlic a dill dip.
Yes, I think everything needs a creamy dip.
With a little bit of
Chips.
Dijon in it. Yes.
Like, oh my God, chips and dip, I've been so on lately.
Yeah.
Now, I did find that funny that they kept talking about garlic, and interesting because, like, garlic, unless it's chopped, doesn't really have an odor. But since this was the 90s and garlic is like, ooh, exotic, they kept acting
No, buddy,
like...
it was 1987. It was not the 90s.
Okay, so it was pre...
This was the height of hair metal bands, which I appreciated. The look of all the vampires were very, like, Poison inspired, Motley Crue inspired. I'm like... hot.
Yeah, and they kept acting like the garlic, like that. At one point, Corey Haim was wearing garlic, and then said that like the mom was like, "Oh, you smell like garlic." I'm like, garlic does not have an odor.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That's
the
offensive
heck?
to me as an Italian.
Why are they acting like garlic in like the cluster smells?
I know.
I did not get that.
And I also didn't really get why all the vampires look like pirates. Like, what's with the pirate?
Like hot rock star pirates.
Yeah, I did not get this movie at all. Like, I know a lot of people that grew up on this. This is like their cult. This has a cult following. I personally, not having seen it growing up and just seeing it as an adult now, it didn't really hold my interest throughout the movie. It didn't. And I was confused by a lot of it. Like Michael and how they were like... I couldn't get it. Like, was Kiefer Sutherland trying to seduce him? I didn't get it.
I didn't know that either.
I'm like, who's into who here?
I'm like,
and that's cool. That's cool, but like they seem to lead with him being into the girl, but then
then she became like a side note to the story, and he was like, "Michael, come to me." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I was very, very confused.
Okay, and also, can I just say, obviously this was 1987. Star, the girl in the movie, which side note kind of looks like Key.
You think so?
I feel like she kind of looked like Key.
Okay, that's flattering because she's a hottie.
She's a cutie. She's a cutie patootie, as is my sister Kiki.
Oh.
But she basically had 2 lines for the whole movie.
Typical 80s.
Michael. Just yelling out, Michael!
And they're like, look hot, be half naked, and that's it.
Yeah, which, did she nail that? She did.
She did. Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just like over like the girl being like, I don't know how to handle this.
I know, and just being told what to do. Like Kiefer Sutherland was like on my motorcycle, and she was like,
I did not like that.
I didn't get any of it.
But yet I do enjoy watching these old movies back, ones that we haven't seen, because it's so alarming how, like, you don't think times are changing that much, and then you watch these old movies and you're like, oh my goodness, thank God I live in 2025.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently this movie was the start of the 2 Coreys, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. And I found it difficult to watch in that sense, knowing what happened ultimately to Corey Haim, died of a drug overdose, and Corey Feldman just never recovered from like drug and alcohol addiction.
I know, it is really sad, but just putting that aside, I still did enjoy this movie. I still gave it a 5 out of 10. I felt like it captured my attention. I liked that it was like a mother starting anew in a new town with her kids, which one of her kids looked like he could be her husband.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get that
I was very confused by all of it.
Michael aged well though.
Yeah,
I looked up current Michael. Michael looks hot.
Really?
I don't know
How old is he?
what his name is as an actor, but he still looks exactly the same, and he's hot. But he looked like not the son of the mom.
No. Very weird casting in this. I thought Corey Haim's character was adorable.
I thought
throughout,
so too.
so
and
innocent.
I loved that the boys were like the ones that had to save the day.
Yes.
So I could see if you were a kid watching this movie, kids love when kids have to save the day.
And the fact that all the vampires were like the cool older kids, although they seemed like they were in their 40s.
So I think I kind of missed the mark with this one.
No.
I can admit.
No, it's good.
I can admit it. It wasn't my best work here. Did they taste absolutely delectable? Certainly.
They look
How is that not
spectacular.
going to be good? You know, Key says cornmeal's my personality. I own it. Give me an opportunity to put cornmeal in anything, and I'm there.
Okay. I had a difficult time narrowing this down, too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where you went, because I was like, I don't even know where Key's going to go with this.
I made a vampire blood soup.
Buddy.
Otherwise known as a borscht.
Absolutely nailed it.
Okay, so I didn't know where to take this. I love a borscht, just to begin with, but I didn't know which direction to go with this. There was that Chinese food scene with the maggots and the noodles.
Chinese food scene too.
That's what I thought.
With the Chinese food scene too, because I was like, ooh, I could always go for Chinese food, morning, noon, and night.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna do, so that's why I didn't do it.
Okay, Kia is really trying to think ahead here.
I tried to set you up for.
Did you think I was going to go corn dog?
No.
Did you? I don't think anybody saw this movie and thought that.
No, so in any good vampire recipe whatsoever, you got to have a lot of garlic. So I started with 2 whole heads of garlic from my garden, and wanted to roast them up first. Because if you're going to go that much garlic, I feel like roasting just takes down the bite a little bit.
But you want more bite. This is a vampire movie.
Yeah, but I personally didn't want to be tasting garlic for weeks on end. So I roasted it in the Ninja and then went about making the rest of the soup. So this is my little special trick that I like to offer when making soups. I'm not sitting there for 24 hours chopping up celery, carrot, and onion.
Amen, sister.
Or anything else. Get out your food processor, mulch it up. It takes 5 seconds flat. And if it's going into a soup, you don't need these perfect little cubes that you're cutting on a cutting board. Look at that.
It's quick, it's efficient, and it also makes for great texture in a soup.
Yes.
I don't really like biting into like thick chunks of carrot.
No, me neither. And I do this if I'm making a meatloaf, meatballs, anything that requires lots and lots of chopping. This is my go-to. And whenever I think like, oh, should I get out the food processor? I don't know if I'm in the mood to wash it. I'm like, no, just do it because it will be way, way quicker. So that's the cabbage as well.
Once you get it out, you're like, what else could I put in here?
Well, and this soup in particular does require quite a bit of chopping. This soup is technically already plant-based. It doesn't have meat in it, but I wanted to add lentils to up the protein a little bit. If you're making a borscht, you could always go with a red cabbage, but I went with which is what I typically do, but I went with a green cabbage to highlight the red color.
Ooh,
because
of the beets.
Because if you
add in purple.
If you add in purple, it will be too purpley and not as red.
Someone really thought this through.
The infamous Chinese food scene, the maggots, he hands him the box of rice, the maggots are in there.
I wanted to ask you about that. Are those real worms?
They're real maggots.
Okay, because you know how they also switched to worms? There was like, one was going nuts, going into his mouth. I'm like, this is the 80s. That's got to be real.
Oh, I don't know about the ones in his mouth, but the maggots in the container, apparently they had a resident bug guy that was on set because the maggots weren't writhing around as they wanted them to. So before each time they showed the maggots, he had to come and squeeze lemon juice on them. Not that ethical.
Ew!
Yeah.
Something about maggots that's so gnarly.
I know. I was so going to do something with the maggots, but
Seeing that instantly makes me queasy.
Me too.
You know what doesn't make me queasy?
What?
The song played in this movie.
I love that song.
That's, to me, a 10 out of 10. For the movie's 5 out of 10, the song is a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
And I love that they kept using it in the movie. It would, like, spark up every now and then during, like, a dramatic part. Like,
yes.
The scene where Michael and Star were, like, oh.
Okay, yep.
I'm like, okay, I love that song.
Yeah, me too. I found that all the characters to be very weak, though. Like, I didn't really get a lot of, like, Michael, is he just, like, a brainless idiot?
Yeah, that just saw a hot girl and was like, she needs to be mine forever.
And then after that was like, I don't have any friends. I'm going to just befriend these vampires.
But yet that one's dating the girl that I like. Like, what?
I found it to be extremely confusing. Now look at this color.
Buddy, absolutely spectacular.
Very good, very, very hearty soup. This is a great soup to serve around Halloween because of the bright beet color. This is and I like to let you know this is the last beet in my garden. Saved it for this recipe.
You saved it for a very special recipe. There is a lesson to be learned in this movie, in my opinion. That I don't know why. I've heard this lesson, and I've never even seen this movie. So this is something that's made it into pop culture that has spanned the ages, and I don't know if it was started in this movie.
What?
Never let a vampire in.
Do they even mention that in the movie?
Yes! That's what they say, never let a vampire in. So I always like to think, I don't know if I believe in vampires. I do believe in ghosts. And I don't let I'm not inviting anything in. I don't want anything in my house. Do not come in my house. And I have said that multiple times when I'm feeling scared. And I feel like that's a rule that holds up. I
thought it was, the scene that I liked the most was when they were trying to kill what they thought was the head vampire. The character played by Edward Herman.
Okay, was that not a complete, I did not see that coming moment. That guy was the head vampire, Mr. Nerd Alert. I was like, okay, and also side note, why all of a sudden he was wearing glasses throughout the whole movie? I resent this. And then all of a sudden you discover that he was the head vampire, off come the glasses, and he becomes like this like top guy here.
I know, I resent that as a glasses wearer.
I know, I'm like, so are we all just nerds who wear glasses here?
In the 80s, yeah, that's how they portrayed anyone wearing glasses.
Takes them off, he's like, I'm a badass now.